Bonus episode. I went to Idaho and accidentally met racism. Okay, so I went to Idaho, which already sounds like the beginning of a mistake. I wasn't looking for racism. I wasn't searching for trauma. I was literally trying to buy a beer, buy a t-shirt, and mind my business. And yet, somehow, Idaho said, "Not today, ma'am." So if you've ever traveled somewhere peacefully and accidentally unlocked a side quest you did not sign up for, that's today's episode. Okay, so listen, I'm not even supposed to be here. I had a whole plan. I am knee deep. I mean, knee deep in a 4-part February series about dating in your 50s, which already feels like community service I didn't sign up for. And I still have one more episode dropping this week, which means my brain is full, my notes app is crying, and my emotional support water bottle is on empty. So I told myself, girl, do not record today. And then I went to church. And you know how church does you. Church will mind its business for 45 minutes and then sneak up on you like, "Hey, remember that thing you were avoiding?" And suddenly I'm sitting there like, wow, I should absolutely talk about Martin Luther King Jr. and Idaho, which is not a sentence I'd ever thought I'd say out loud. So, welcome to a bonus episode. Unplanned, unhinged, spirit led, and slightly chaotic, which honestly is very on brand. So, welcome back to The Struggle Continues. Now, let me give you some context. I grew up in a small military town, and if you grew up military or around a base, you already know that is the United Nations with uniforms. Everybody's there. Every shade, every accent, every hairstyle, every mama yelling in different languages at the commissary. It was diverse before diversity became a corporate buzzword. So growing up, racism, I didn't experience it. I knew racism existed. I saw it on TV. You know, the movies, the history specials, the documentaries that came on right after Oprah. But in real life, nah. Everybody was just, they were just human. You're different? Cool. You're from somewhere else? Cool. Your dad's stationed here for 3 years and then disappear like a military ghost? Cool. That was life. So racism was something that happened somewhere else, not my somewhere. Now, fast forward. I worked at McDonald's for 25 years. Yes, a quarter of a century, a McLife, we call it. And listen, working in fast food will show you humanity's unfiltered. People will say things at the drive-thru that they would never say to a therapist, a priest, or even God himself. So yeah, over 25 years, I've been called the N-word more times than I can count. And here's the wild part. Most of the time, I didn't even feel like it was racism. I felt it was more like button pushing. What's the worst thing I can say to make this black woman react? That was the goal, I thought. So I never gave it any energy. Was it racist? Probably. Was it stupid? Definitely. Did I get paid enough to emotionally unpack it? Absolutely not. So I let it roll off. Because when you're tired and underpaid, you do not have the luxury of unpacking every ignorant sentence. Now, y'all know I've talked about this before. I am on a mission to travel to all 50 states with Rochelle, my best friend. And let me tell you something. I was terrified of the Deep South. I was like, Mississippi's going to get me. Alabama definitely is going to side on me. And if I hear a banjo tuning up, I'm going to run for my life. All that I was prepared for. Do you know where racism actually jumped out at me? Idaho. Idaho said, "Surprise, ma'am." And honestly, the caucasity of it all. So we're in Idaho, and like we always do, we find a random dive bar because that's our thing. One drink, one shot, and a t shirt. That's it. That's the tradition. And if it's a real dive bar, there must be animal. At least one. Look, I don't make these rules. If there's no dog, a cat, snake, parrot, iguana, or an emotional support raccoon, that is just a bar pretending. So we go in, we get our drinks, we get our shots, we get our t shirt, we go outside. It's June, Idaho is beautiful, I'm relaxing, life is good. And yes, I'm the only black person there. But that doesn't bother me. I mean, I've been skydiving, so being the only black person does not scare me. We're sitting there for over an hour talking, laughing, vibing, and then this older white man who has been sitting there the whole time decides to fix his mouth and say, "Do you know what we used to do to people like you after dark?" Now listen, my brain short circuited because my first thought was, no way he said that. My second thought, maybe I misheard him. Third thought, do not become the angry black woman. So I said, excuse me? And he repeated it again, word for word. And at that moment, I knew, oh, this is really happening. So I did the safest thing I could think of. I stood up to leave. I was not about to argue. I was not about to perform. I was not about to educate a grown man in Idaho. But before I could fully leave, the bar exploded. White men, white women, all of them, cussing him out, yelling, dragging him verbally. Get the F out of here. You don't represent us. What the hell is wrong with you? And I just stood there like, because for once, I didn't have to be the angry one. And that meant more than I can explain. Talk about love thy neighbor, not love thy neighbor, only the ones that look like you. And that's when it hit me today. The work is not done. Martin Luther King Jr. dream is our dream today, not just an extra day off for some of us. It looks different now. It sounds quieter. Sometimes it's just one random man at a bar, but it's still there. And Martin Luther King's dream, that wasn't the finish line. That was a relay race. And guess what? We're still running. So whether it's speaking up or cussing somebody out peacefully, do something because silence, that helps nobody. So yeah, this was random. This was unplanned. This was heavy, but still us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying. Thank you for lurking quietly. I respect that. Like, subscribe, share, or don't. I'll still be here. Go do something, even if it's something small, because the struggle, it still continues. Bye.